All right. Welcome, everybody, to today's Lunch and Learn. I'll be your host, Jared. And if you have any questions that you have regarding decisions, feel free to add them in the chat. I'll have the chat open. I'll also have the Q&A portion. So if you want to submit your questions through there, they will be at that moment there, so we can view it at that time, and I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. With that being said, we have a couple of things to talk about before we begin, as you guys kind of ponder your questions and decide what you'll ask. Oop, I actually typed in the decisions website wrong. Silly me. And perfect. We got a couple of cool events happening that I want to share with you guys about. So on our website, we have go to training. We have a couple of different training things. We have a Submerse event that's coming up shortly. So if you want people to have an accelerated, product training experience where they only have to join for a couple of days, I think 4 days, they can complete the entire program a lot faster than they can if they go to the online portion. So if you go ahead and click register now, it just goes to a virtual event where we shall be doing it on August 11th through 13th. So actually, yeah, only 3 days. So feel free to register. We go over all the basics. So it's just a great way to learn the tool faster. So share this with as many people as you know. If you have new people onboarding, this is a great option for learning decisions. The other thing that we have, is we also have our usual YouTube website. Oops, let me go back to here. There we go. We also have our YouTube channel. Please like, comment, subscribe. If there's any suggestions of YouTube videos you want us to create, take us up on it. Email us, and we'll definitely create that video for you guys if you have a specific question. We also have a decision solution marketplace where there's many different marketplace projects in the My Apps store in decisions that will help you learn decisions. So it's a very helpful process on learning the tool. So those are the things that we have. Alrighty. With that being said, we're going to kick it off. We have a pre-sub from Marvin, and that pre-sub, and then I'll get to the questions that we have in the chat. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Joe. I'll get to that after I do the pre-sub. Alrighty, this pre-sub question asks, if I can find it. There we go. It is there a way to copy a hidden flow into a flow that's not hidden? For example, copying a subflow within a run flows for list step to a standalone visible flow. Recreating the flow manually is not the desired approach, understandably so. Copying the subflow only creates another hidden subflow, and it appears that none of the advanced set flow behavior options options seem to point to the desired result. I gotcha. I'm going to allow you to talk, Marvin, but I think I got what you're trying to do. So let me go ahead and show you how I would handle that. So just to set up the problem, where's this? I'm just going to create a new project. Why not? I shall call this scarf, and it shall be my scarf. And we'll call this scarf. I will call this scarf. And then we have scarf. Very creative on the names, right?
Consistent.
I know, right? It'll be so hard for anyone to find anything because everything's named scarf. Alrighty, let me create a new folder to illustrate this, and we'll say this is my sandbox folder, and then we're going to go ahead and create this. Now, what we're going to do is, I think I know what you're trying to do. So if I do this, and this is test flow 1, as if I use a run flows for list step, right? And I'm on the newer version. I think I'm on 9.12 or something, so that's why my flow designer looks a little bit different, but the process will
I
still
am
be the
as
same.
well.
Oh, you are? You're on this version?
Yes,
Oh, how do you like it?
I love it.
Nice. We love that feedback. I'll let the core devs know. That's great. Let's see. I'll
I
just
even
give
on
you
a few tweaks, but it's like it.
Okay, I got you. What tweaks would you like?
In the debugger on the right
Uh-huh.
hand side, it's
Yeah.
trending the results out. You can't resize the mapping area.
Oh, you're right. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, Gregory, could you like write that down so we get that as a feedback item
There's the
for
support ticket already in.
Oh, okay, there is. Okay, perfect then.
Yeah.
Never mind. But yeah, that is kind of frustrating that you can't scroll down. Alrighty, so we have this. So basically, what Marvin's question is let's say I have a flow. This is a subflow inside, or not really a subflow, but it's a new flow tied to a step. So it's a type of hidden type of steps. So let's say I have this process. Imagine it does something intelligent. Now the question becomes is right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Marvin, is you have this beautiful flow, right? Just like mine, that does
Sure,
very creative things.
absolutely.
Yep, just create data 3 times. But you want to use it somewhere else because it does have logic that you would like to use naturally, right?
Mhm.
So that's the thing here. So, and the things that we've tried, let me input a list. We'll just do oh, that's not what I want. And then sure, we'll remove null results, right? So I have this here, and anytime we have a hidden flow, right, folder view, we
Exactly.
can we can go through here. But the problem you're having, if I go to hidden, is let's say you want this flow right here, right? And you're like, I want to use this one. And we can copy it, sure, and then you create a copy of it. But the problem is it's still a hidden flow, right?
Correct.
And so that's the copy, and it's a flow, and yep, still hidden. And let's say I try to edit it. Um, and yep, you can't edit it. So that's kind of the problem set that we're here.
Well, you can
Uh,
edit it up there at the top, but you can't change it so that it's not hidden.
right, yeah, yeah. That I misspoke. That's what I meant is
Okay.
that you can't change the what is it, set name and description. I can only change the name of it. I can't change the behavior of it.
Correct.
Like your point was to the question. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete this thing. So that's the problem that we have. Now, what we can do for this, there's not really, so to answer it kind of more directly, there's not really an easy way to do this because once you created that flow behavior, it's a special type of flow. Now,
Correct.
here's the kicker, what you can do. Now, what you can do here is there's a couple of options. I believe if you highlight the steps, have you done this before, the create subflow here?
No, that may be one of the new things that were coming out, copying everything. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's well, we've had it out for a while, but it's a relatively new feature. And what I would
Okay.
advise here is, let's say you have lots of logic, right? Yours is probably larger than what I have here. But what
Yes.
you can do is you can highlight, just left click and drag, highlight all of your steps, create a subflow, and you can say that, and you can call it, this is Marvin's super cool subflow logic. We're going to test the character limit of this. Want to use elsewhere, right? Not
Ditto, ditto,
possible.
ditto, ditto, ditto.
Exactly, yeah. And now, boom, now you got, this is Marvin's super cool subflow logic I want to use elsewhere. Now, since this is created, this is an actual flow. Now what I can do is if I close out of here, I will have, right, there we go. This is Marvin's super cool subflow
Okay.
that I
And it's
want to use
not hidden.
elsewhere.
That's the trick. Okay.
Exactly. It's not hidden. And let's say I create another flow. Let me go back to the list view because I don't care about this view. So now if I want to create another flow, and this is my other process flow, right? I
Hmm.
create this. And then now if I utilize a run subflow, I should be able to find it. Let's confirm. And yep, there we go. This is
Yep.
Marvin's super cool subflow logic. And then it will have all of the logic that it needs. Um, cool thing about this is if in your process you were like taking in inputs from somewhere else, um,
Hmm.
this process will do its best to create those inputs for you. So if I like passed in like using like that input variable in the runs flows for list into some of the steps here, what decisions would do is decisions would create that input and output for you. So it will accommodate
Okay.
that. Um,
Okay.
so I
Cool.
would still double check, always check,
All
but
right.
it does
Well,
a
I
pretty
just
good job.
mainly didn't want to have to recreate all the steps within the flow.
Man, well, how many steps do you have in that flow?
In this one, probably about 10, 15. I mean, it's not bad, but
Oh man, I should have pulled your leg and be like, yeah, you gotta recreate it, man. Sorry, just gotta, 6 more hours.
no, thank you.
No worries, we
Well,
got you back. So, anything
all
else I
right.
can help you with?
That's it.
Okay, cool, cool.
Appreciate the explaining the new feature or
Yeah,
relatively new feature.
exactly. Yep, my pleasure. Alrighty. Well, I'll move on to the next question. And thank you so much. We got a nice large crowd in here. So hey, appreciate you guys for coming. If you have any other questions, we got Alex and Joe, they submitted questions, so I'm gonna go into that order that I received them. But if anyone else has a question, feel free to raise your hand or add them in the Q&A, and we'll get right to them. Alrighty. With that being said, Alex, I'm going to allow you to be able to talk, and I'll read your question. All right. Looking to be able to add a file to an existing folder. All right. Let's get some context. Do you know where are we getting this file? Is it just like
From
a file upload or?
yep, the upload button.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. That makes it so much easier. I wasn't sure if you were like doing some like wizardry, like with an API call or like a
No,
database, but
so I mean, when I originally I have a flow data extension, and for some reason the add file step is aware while that flow is running of what the process folder is.
yes,
And so when I do the add file, everything works because the add file doesn't actually have an input attribute for the process folder.
correct.
Now that the flow is completed and I want to add another one, I just created another flow where I basically just pop up a form with the folder upload button, and then I pop out of that form and do a fetch entities on the process folder and try and use the add file, and it does not work.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll walk you through it, and just let me know. Are you another question? Are you utilizing a the document data type in decisions or a file reference?
I think it's the document.
Okay, cool. Then I'll show you.
Because I noticed that like I tried using the file reference instead of the add file, and
Mm-hmm.
that works, but it creates it in a different location inside the process folder.
Gotcha. Okay, storing documents in a folder. I'll show you this one. I actually did this one as an exercise with the training team where I just had someone and I said, hey, I got 3 documents and I want each of the documents to have their own folder and I want it to be dynamic. So I should be able to remember that. If I've forgotten, Gregory can remind me. Alrighty. So what I would do is let me create a very simple form. Since it's just a file upload, this should be pretty easy to do. So create new. I'll say this is my upload form with a smiley face because why not? It's a great Tuesday. We're having a good time. Now what I'm going to do is let's get the file upload right there. And we'll say this is my file. So that's what I'll call it as. And we should be good. All right, cool. So now what I'm going to do is there's a couple of different steps. Are you in version 9 or version 8, Alex?
19.
8.19?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. So, is there a way? It would be so. Okay, I want to show you the version 9 way, but I'll translate it into version 8. So in version 9, there is a step called call internal decision service, and that's where you can utilize a lot of the different default services in decisions, specifically the document service. Now, because you're in version 8, you won't have this step. It's version 9 specific, but you will still have the category document service. You just have to navigate it through. Let me see if I can pull it up on. We have a version 8 server running. Let me just do some authentication in the background on my other screen. All right, I got a login application request. I got to do the TUFA. I got to was a pat my head and rub my belly at the same time. I do the hokey pokey, turn myself around, and I'm in. All right, so in version 8, I'm going to put it on over in just a second. New project, and we'll just say this is demo flow. All right, cool. So this is version 8. I think you have a higher version 8 than me, but you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. So in version 9, we have the call internal decision service. In version 8, what you would have to do is you would just go to integration, internal services, and then document service. Let's see, document service. Perfect. And then there will be a specific step that says add document in folder, and I think that allows you to have the folder ID. Oh no, that's not it. Oops, that's the wrong one. I think it's just add document, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it's just this step. So what you'll be seeing on version 9 is I'll just be utilizing the call internal decision service, but it's the exact same step that I'll be using. And this allows you to pass in file data, and then you could store it in that folder. So how that works is I'm going to attach this here. I'm going to grab that add document step, same step, same inputs. And then all I need to do is select a folder. Now, I forgot to select a folder, so I'm going to go ahead and let me open up another browser. I'll not break that lock. I will, I think, oh, let me create another folder, and I'm just going to say this is create a folder, and I'll say this is store stuff, right? Because that's what we're going to do. We're going to store stuff. I go back here, and now what I can do is I can pass in that folder ID. You can do this dynamically, or you can set it up as a constant. I'm going to set it up as a constant for just ease of demonstration. So I can set this up, do it as a constant, pass in that folder ID or your process folder ID, and then all I need to do is just grab. I think I just need to build data. Yep. And then I can just select from flow, grab my file. Let me change that's the form to output as file data, not as file reference, file data. And then we'll do that. And then now I grab my file and I'll give it a title and I'll say this is my file.
Well, there should be something inside of the file data that's the name.
Yeah, this is so the reason why there's a title here is this because when you store it as a document, there needs to be an entity name associated with it. So that's why there's this additional title. But you are correct. If I did build data on this file data property, there would be a file name property there. But since it's converting that file data to a document and a document needs an entity name, that's what this is. So translation, your file name will be the same as the title name here. So let's go ahead and debug this. So if I go ahead and debug this, this should store it. I'm going to, let's see, let me, sweet, I can select my file. Let's do, what's in my downloads? I think there's probably some fun stuff in my downloads. Actually, let me go ahead and grab, where's my file? Sure, I got a Sherlock Holmes quote. I don't even know what's in that. But okay, let's say I want to store this thing. I'm going to go ahead and submit it, and it goes through. And if I go back inside of my process here, you'll see that I have this document right here for it that I can then download. And then I get, that notepad file right there. So that's what you can do to set up a flow to file upload, send data to it, and then you just use the add document step for it.
Okay, so I guess I'm confused. Just
Mhm.
in my original flow, I use the add file step.
Mhm.
And so why is the add file step no longer available?
Sure. The reason why is because how a flow execution extension, aka a flow data extension, works is that whenever you use that setup process folder step in version 8, it
Yeah,
automatically makes everything in the flow available to all of the other process steps in the process category.
gotcha.
Meaning that's why you don't need to specify the folder ID because it already knows, hey, there's a process folder ID in this flow, and it just captures it and stores it there. The problem with that is, like you've identified, is if I want to store something after the fact, when that process has already ended, or it's in a pause state and I want to add another piece of data to it, um, then I would have to utilize this avenue and say, okay, let me add this document in there, utilizing this step and passing in that
Yeah,
folder right there.
okay, yeah, no worries. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Awesome, my pleasure. Alrighty. That's that one. All right, cool. Let's see. Joe asks, how do you make 2 rows of buttons on a form footer? I'm gonna give you the ability to talk, Joe, and I think I know what you mean. So essentially, what you're asking is, I can probably utilize this one is, um, how to make 2 rows of buttons on a form footer? So instead of it being a single row, you want another row, right?
Of the same size.
Of the same size? Okay. So easy enough. So over on the right, we have the columns and rows set up. By default, the footer grid is a 30 plus row. So if you want a mere another one, you can either edit, click on this, or I'm sorry, click on the plus sign on the rows, and you can add another row. My favorite is just to do the advanced layout. Then I can type in what I want and click less buttons. And so if I want another, 30 plus row, I just type 30 plus, then I click done, and then let me give my, what is it? What do you call it? My footer grid a little bit more space. And then now I have 2 rows right
Well, you
here.
don't, you have a row and a half. That's the problem I'm running into.
For that, so then talking about for here, or you want, so you're trying to make this a little bit larger to cover more of the space.
Yeah, if you're trying to get 2 buttons that are the same size, right now you have a button and a half, and you have to scroll to get to the other button. I can
Oh,
never
I see what
make
you're
it
saying.
bigger.
I gotcha. Yeah. So easy fix. So I think that deals with the root container. We got to see. Yeah. So on the root container, basically the default form and decisions, it has a root container that stores 2 grids. So if I select the root container, you'll see that the row is only 70 pixels. But let's say I want it to be a little bit larger. Like you said, I don't want to scroll down. Then I can merely change this to be like, hey, I want 140. And then now I have more space on the bottom.
So
And I probably a little bit too much.
where'd you go for that?
Yeah. So easy way is to the left, there's the Explorer icon all the way to the left. And what that
Yep.
allows you to do is you can select the root container grid layout. It's underneath the surface category. And then all you need to do is just change the bottom row from 70. I think
Right, so you have to select the root container. That was the trick.
exactly, yeah, because that's where it's built. And so now I think 110 probably would look the best. And so now you can add more buttons, as many buttons as you want with
Now,
another
if you
grid
go back
layout.
to the Explorer really
Mhm.
quick,
Of course.
there's bottom bar grid layout and contents grid layout. I would have thought that they would have been in the bottom bar grid layout, but it's not. It's in the root container.
Right, because the bottom grid layout is just giving you that extra row there. But what keeps it small is that the root container has said that the bottom row for that root container where everything is laid on top of only has 70 pixels.
Okay. And what was the purpose of the plus sign after the 30?
Yeah, so we have different delineations after our columns and rows. The plus sign just means that that row or column, and correct me if I'm wrong, Gregory, I always get these two confused, is that column or row, if it's a 30 plus, it will grow beyond 30. So it can be 60, 90, 110 or whatever, but it won't shrink below 30. So it's like a minimum size essentially. That's what 30 plus means or 30 grow means.
Okay. All right, that's it.
Cool. Awesome. I love it. All right, we're going on. Let's see. All right, we got one more question. And if anyone has any other questions, feel free to add some more in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat and the Q&A. All right, Patty, I'm going to give you permission to speak. And let's see, what do we got here? I have an auto-generated ID created for farm. Hey, long time to see.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
You had a good one, vacation?
Yeah, it was a very eventful trip. I'll put it that way.
Excellent.
Yeah. Alrighty, so you have a question over, I have an auto-generated ID created for a form, but I want to fill in at the point of save. Otherwise, the number increment. Oh, I see your prob. Increment each time you open the form, even if it's not. Oh, I got you. Huh. That's a good one. I'm trying to think of how I would handle that. Here's the problem. Let me just build the problem so everyone can kind of see. So the problem that Pat is experiencing is there is this step. All right, great. Now I got like tons of buttons. There is this step that allows you to auto-generate an ID, and it's basically found in the ID generation service and decisions. I think we still have that here, right? Yep. ID generations, and you have get next ID, right?
I use the pad, a character. Yeah.
Pad, got you. Okay, so now we have the prefix, which I'll say this is L and L for lunch and learn. The pad character, what is that? Is that like a?
I put in 0, I think. Yeah.
Is it 0 or hyphen or something?
Yeah, the ones I put in 5, something like that.
And the length is like 8 or something. Let me try that.
Yeah.
And so essentially what happens is now we run this, and I'll just minimize this. And so now we have, oh, I guess, yeah, we had to make that zeros. That's funny because that looks really weird. Let me make that zeros. Yeah, the pad character is zeros. Perfect. And then let me add this because you probably have something like this, right? You have like a label or something, text from data name. We'll say this is custom ID. And we'll save this. And then you pass this. And then you pass this into it.
I think actually I build into the form as active form flow, but I think, yeah, it's the same idea. I mean, in terms of how to handle that.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And then, right, and if I run this again, this is the problem. If I run this again, now it's 3, now it's 4, now it's 5, even though it's not saving anything. So let me, I want to see if I can distill the problem. So you would like the custom ID to still appear though, but it not increment if that is not saved, correct?
Well, either way, what you described, or not load on the form open, leave it blank, but when I click on save button, load that ID. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, that makes it a lot easier because then all you have to do, then instead of having your ID process being created in the active form flow, all you need to do is just say, hey, instead of having this step before the form creation, you can just say, hey, if we click on button 1, let's say button, or I'm going to say button 3. Let's say button 3 is the approval, right? And so, hey, we submit this and it goes on to the next stage. Then it will generate. The problem is it's just, you'll just have something blank here. And then if I click button 3, then it hits that step and then I'll have LNL 004.
Okay. I always thought the generate ID always in upfront the form, either in the form or upfront. You can put it after. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. The only thing you'll just have to make sure that you do is merely make sure that after you've generated it, that you store that value from that variable back into your data structure. Or I think I remember working with you one-on-one on this in your Excel file or your database. That's the only thing you'll just have to make sure you do is because
I need to use set value to the ID, something like that.
Exactly, because right now it outputs it into a variable, and what you would need to do is, let's say I have a create data step right here, and I'm going to run it here. And so let's say this is me. I'm going to say store ID, right? Obviously, this does not look like your process, but what I'm trying to illustrate is, in order for me to actually use it, I need to make sure that I choose flow data and I grab from this variable or whatever you've named that variable there. And then it will be part of your process where it will store and be used later on.
So that create data is actually the field in one of my table. So I understand the input is what GenNext generated, but you didn't specify where it go to though. I didn't fully understand the create data.
Correct. I'm not utilizing that step to show that I'm actually storing data. I was using this as a demonstration of just make sure you map the variable to wherever you need it to go. And I was just demonstrating the mapping portion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're correct. This goes nowhere.
It's that particular step. Is that a set control value?
This one right here?
Yeah, if I want to do it, do I use set control value or?
No, so this
just
all
use
this
the create data.
Well, yeah, so whatever your default create data for your data structure is, you would utilize that. This create data step merely just creates variables. It doesn't store it or send it anywhere.
You mean your store ID, I will need to pick my table ID, right? Whatever the ID I use, correct?
Yeah, this is so my store ID is just a placeholder. Like I could call this cheese. The main
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
I
yeah.
was demonstrating
I'm
was
talking
just
about
the
the output.
oh,
I'm talking about output.
okay, the output.
The output, you have a done and store ID. Is that where I need to select my ID in my table?
Yeah, so imagine this is your create data step. Your
Right.
variable won't be store ID. I think it would just be ID.
Mm-hmm.
Like let me create a data structure because I want to make sure I don't confuse you, and I'm afraid I might
Okay.
have. Yeah. So let's say you created a database structure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this is test DS, right? And I'll say I have prop one, and then I have prop two, right? I have a lot of different properties, and I'm gonna create this, right? So now now I have a similar situation like you. You have a data structure that you want to store things in. So now I'm going to delete this step because it seems like it just caused confusion. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my create step, my test DS, right? This is my create step right here. So I'm going to create data. Now I have to build data because I have to pass in the different values here. And I'll say this is a constant. This is like hello. And then this one's world, right? Just data that I can store. Notice that I have this ID input here. So the point that I was making is you would have to go ahead and grab flow data, then grab your get next ID filled with pad char output if you wanted to use it. So this is an example of where my ID will be used that comes out of this part. It'll probably be like LNL 0005 or something. So let me debug this to show you. Button 3, boom, that gets created. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out, grab fetch entities so that we can see it now. And then, oops, that's not what I want. Bum, bum, bum. And I think it's test DS. And then I can debug it because now I have a record. And what you'll see here is now instead of utilizing decisions auto-generated ID, I passed in that pad ID like I wanted. So that would be closer to what you would need to do if you want to utilize that ID generation service for your IDs.
Okay, I got the idea. Thank you very much.
Of course, my pleasure. I'm sorry for the confusion.
Thank you. No problem.
All righty.
I will be here just to listen, so I will mute myself.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Are there any more questions that anyone has? I think we've finished up all the queue for right now. Gregory, is there any like stuff about like flex layout or things that we can demonstrate or?
Yeah, 9.13 is actually, I think, being released, so we should have access to that. My local still having some issues, so I'm trying to pull it up, but
Okay, no worries.
yeah,
No worries.
it installs now. It's just this, none of the CSS is there, so
Sure, I
one
got you.
problem at a time.
Yeah, no worries. I was just wondering if we could demonstrate something. All right, well, we'll give it about 5 more minutes, and if there's no questions in 5 minutes, we'll just end it early so that we can get this video mixed and created and sent to YouTube so you guys can watch it at your own leisure for it. So we'll hang around for about 5 minutes, and if you're done, feel free to drop off, and we'll get this video mixed and uploaded to YouTube as soon as possible.
What version are you on right now?
Let's see. I'm on 912, I want to say. It's probably, yeah, 912.
Cool. We do have a neat calculated column in advanced data grids that got added in 9.12. If we want to show that off.
I'm sorry, what?
We added a new calculated column in version 9.12 for advanced data grids specifically. Only in advanced data grids. It doesn't work on
It's only
reports
advanced
yet.
data grid. All right, guys, let's take a trip down memory lane since we got 4 more minutes. All right, not really memory lane, but like I guess future lane. I guess that doesn't fit. Anyway, so new ADG column.
Yep.
All right, so we got an advanced data grid. Advanced data grid is pretty cool. add this here. It leverages the decisions report designer. That's why I said support. Report designer to allow you to display. Okay, cool. We'll do records to display data in a more kind of visual format. And so if I go ahead and create this new form, let me edit my dialog. You have these different filters, these fields. So I want my ID, my property, 1 and 2. There is a new calculated column. I think it's like what, add icon to
Custom actions field. That's what it's called.
Oh, custom actions field. We have this new one called custom actions field. And what that allows you to do is you can create your own custom action and your own icon if you want that action to have an icon to it. So basically, you can just have a button in a row that can run another flow. So I can say this is my, let's do like lifesaver. Lifesaver. I'm going to say imagine it does something intelligent, right? It saves the world. It, I don't know, solves all your business problems with a click of a button. That's a good tagline. I like that one. Anyway, so if I go to what's the thing that lifeguards throw to people?
It is called a lifesaver, like a floaty.
It's called a lifesaver.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a lifesaver.
We don't have that icon? Life.
It might be
we
one
do.
word.
Hey, yeah, it is one word. Ooh, life belt. What if I change the color? You can tell I'm getting excited about this. I don't like it. Let's make it. It's orange, I think, right? We don't have orange. Hold on, guys. We got to figure this out. Orange hex code. All right, F. There we go. Foxtrot, Alpha 500. Boom! Look at that. Isn't the internet just a wonderful thing? All right, so we got this. Oh man, wait, I got to do the whole thing. Aha, there we go. So now I have an orange little buoy, or not buoy, thingamabobber. So I click OK. All right, that's my action, and I'm going to call this, it will be called Lifesaver. Or I could just hide the title. Let me just hide the title. I don't want it. Hide column text, because I don't want it shown. So now I can have this. And so what this allows you to do is anytime that you pass in data, I think it's this one. And all right, I have too much stuff here. Delete all that. We're going to show form, pick create form, pick existing, and new ADG column. And so now I still need a fetch entity step. I shouldn't have deleted that one. Silly me. Fetch entities, and no results will go here. And flow data, I didn't do it. Refresh, test DS. Perfect. And then if we go through here, oh, I didn't save it. Save.
The results path needs to go to the form where we won't have our data.
Silly me. Of course I didn't read that. All right, now I'll finally get it. And then now what happens is as I debug this, now I have this column. My action's not there. What happened? Is it not
Maybe
big
it's the
enough?
hide column text. That might actually be the, I don't know how that affects that.
Oh, that's probably what it was. That actually did. I think that might have. Not hide column text. But there's one that you don't have to display this stuff in the header. Anywho, right, let's just see what this looks like. I was trying to be kind of cool and make it designed very sweet, but I did it too fast. All right, let's run this. No, is it broken?
Oh, there it is. Oh, it just showed up. It just took a little bit.
Really?
Hold on, give it a moment.
Oh, I mean, I guess I don't know. Probably something wrong with my environment, but there you go. So now you can have an action and display it inside. I'm not sure why there's probably something wrong with my install, and that's why it doesn't show that very well. But yeah, so that allows you to have an action where you can click on it, and it runs your flow. So if you decide to use it, then you can. Grant Logger asked, will this feature be added in reports down the road? I asked this because I need this feature on a report using a dashboard for a project I have. Currently using the run flow inline field to achieve something similar, but this seems really nice. I think we do have it in the report designer. Let me just double check. Not that it's not named the same thing. Let's see. But I think what we can do now is you can utilize, let me just run this common account data source, and we'll do email address, right? And then I will do calculated columns. And you won't have it here, but it's like isn't it like, it's not it's a run flow inline field, I think, what you
Mhm.
said. Yeah. And I think what you can do is you can display icon now. And so instead of utilizing, I'll just add that there. And so right, I have that now. I have that run flow icon. And I think why this doesn't appear is I need to change the grid mode settings, grid view, and I want to say specified image. Does it open? Okay, I thought it would. So yeah, so it's the run flow action that you're talking about. Oh, it's not showing. Oh, that is a bug. Okay, cool. I gotcha. Yeah, but the icon thing, this run flow action is the exact same thing as the custom actions in the advanced data grid. It's just been renamed and tied to that form control. So if you have that, then you can have it on the other thing as well.
I
So
do want to clarify, it's not quite the same. It's close, but there is a key difference, and that difference is that the custom actions flow can interact with the form with the form rules controls in the same way an active form flow can.
so that's the difference. I see.
That's the
That
key
makes sense.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because one's on a form, this one's just on a report. So awesome. Well, I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Thank you so much for attending. This was a great lunch and learn. Tomorrow you'll have our next guest, Gregory, will be this is an old slide. I'm at the wrong one. Hey, there we go. But hey, still guessed right. It's going to be Gregory. He'll be running that lunch and learn for you guys. So if you're not sick of Gregory yet, hey, he's running more. So he's doing a great job and very smart, knows his stuff. So he'll be running tomorrow. And then at the end of the week, Thursday, Jeremy will be wrapping it up. So that's going to be the panelist for today. If that's it, I'll see you guys next time.